So you have the Queen of Wands, the Two of Swords, and then you also have the Knight of Cups for a lot of you. So a lot of y'all are very much so in a place where interesting. Uh a lot of you are just preoccupied with doing the things that you want to do. The Queen of Wands, you pretty much know what you want. Two of Swords, you know, Two of Swords, um, tired of that, right? Not rocking with that mentality at all. Where you got to be in a relationship with someone and a struggle of going back and forth, butting heads with the person. Then you have the Knight of Cups. Um, Engaging in the things that y'all want to. So whatever it is, whatever that gets the imagination juices flowing, um, uh, is what does it for you. Uh, and you're exploring those things for yourself because you understand that you will not allow anyone or anything to really stop you, and you shouldn't. The Page of Swords, Knight of Wands. The Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands right here represents how you're in a place where for you, you very much so are doing your thing. You really are. You're doing your thing. But you also understand how not doing your thing held you back for a long time. It was difficult. It was a situation. And so again, that was the situation, right? Um, so you don't want to have to deal with that. You're doing the things that you want. And a lot of you are probably finding out hidden talents that you never even knew that you had. And sometimes it's like that. Try certain things out, you don't even know that you would like it. Next thing you know, you love it. You like it. You love it. And then you have the you have the World card, and then you have the Queen of Cups. So these two cards right here for you represents how a lot of you are in a position where um, a lot of you are in a space where for you, uh, the World card and the Queen of Cups is about how y'all you found the whole universe in what you want to do. There's like when you get yourself into something, right, that you love to do, and how do I say it, right? Like you enjoy doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I love artwork. I do not draw, but I love staring at my artwork, right? The artwork that I have attained, not drew, but what I have, or looking at it. Especially the Mona Lisa back there. But and it relaxes me, and I can zone out and pay attention to that for a few minutes, So things like that. And to me, those are things that make me feel complete, right? So a lot of you are figuring out ways that make you feel complete. What are some things that make you feel like you never knew that you had these hidden talents and abilities and all of this stuff? And then you have the Chariot. And the chariot, the chariot represents how doing it disciplined, right? Doing it very well thought out. And then the chariot also represents your zodiac sign. The chariot also represents your zodiac sign as well. So it's the major arcana that represents your zodiac sign. So you're in a place where for you very much so you feel comfortable with your creativity because it's just you. You don't have to wonder about another person, right? And then you have the Magician and the Strength card. So the Magician and the Strength card here also represents how, and it makes you feel strong. It makes you feel strong. It makes you feel empowered. You know, you're just doing the things that you wanted to do. Like I said, some of you probably have thought about certain things like on a bucket list. So you created a bucket list, or some of the things that you may have thought like, okay, some of the things that you want to try out in your life. And so that's essentially what it is that you've done. So, you know, and it's like that, you know, sometimes, you know, it takes being by yourself to really kind of see what it is that you really like, you know. I like artwork, I like paintings, I like art. I'm really an artist, for real, for real. You know, I'm left-handed, right? I'm really ambidextrous, truth be told. I could write with either or, but not equally as good, but I can write with either or. And you know, working the right side of my brain. I'm really an artist. I really like imaginative things like that, right? Keeps my imagination flowing like water. And you know, one of the things that I don't like to be is bored when I'm with, to not to be bored, but like I don't like to be bored of the actual person. Not it's just a boring time, but the person's great. I just don't want to be bored of the actual person. I've already figured them out. All they care about is money. All they care, you know, they care about is control and money and attention and all that stuff. They're just as dysfunctional as all can be. I get it. And so the situation for you is that a lot of you want that same thing too, right? But in a significant other, however, y'all want to stay focused with what y'all are doing, right? Examining the things, more aspects of yourself, the things whom you are, what you like, what you want to do. And like I said before, sometimes it just takes a matter of, a matter of you just sitting back and just really contemplating and thinking about who you are for you to go try out some stuff, right? I may want to go back to the range. You know what I mean? I may want to go back to the range. There's some stuff that I want to try out that I've seen on some of them channels, some of those self-defense channels, if you catch my drift, that I want to go ahead and see and be like, yeah, I want to try this out. And a lot of that stuff you don't necessarily get to have when you are in a relationship. I'm just saying, right? And the reason why is because of the fact that the person has their own mind. They want to do their own thing. But some of the things don't align up with what you got going on. So, you know, so let's clarify some of these cards, right? So a lot of you are single, but you very much so are not really having too much of a difficult time, because a lot of you are still able to do your own thing. So let's clarify the Strength card right here. Seven of Wands, Star card, the Moon, Knight of Wands. Then you have the World card to clarify the Strength. So again, right, the Seven of Wands, the Star card, the Moon card. Once again, like, you're not really too preoccupied or worried about what other people got going on, because what's going on here for you is that a lot of you are, in essence, rediscovering yourselves, right? Getting back into your old hobbies, or even finding brand new hobbies. You know, sometimes, like I said, due to contemplation and reflection, and then y'all are ruled by the Moon. So due to contemplation or self-reflection, you'll find out certain things about yourself that you like, you know, or things that you didn't know about yourself. Like me, I'm really good at that stuff. Like I have really good aim. Like I didn't even realize that I had good aim. I have really good aim. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm watching at how I'm like getting little targets, and I'm just like, wow, I'm actually kind of good at this. You know what I mean? And first time that I've ever tried it, I was actually kind of good at it, you know. Started having like, you know, little groupings and stuff like this, right? Or started getting little targets, right? Like little targets. And it was good for me and my family. We went out, we had a good time. It was for my birthday. what, not now, but I mean 2021. But it was fun. I loved it. Really appreciative and want to do it again, as a matter of fact. But this is what I mean when I say that, like, sometimes you get yourself out of a relationship, maybe you've been single for a while, and then a brand new thing happens for you where you go, I may want to try to go to the range, or go try a karate class, or I don't know, a home decorating class or an art class or whatever, right? Or do something spontaneous or whatever, right? Another thing too that I'm really peeping game about is a lot of people are missing spontaneity in their relationships too, and that we need to also start bringing back spontaneity, but in the realm of what is okay and what is not okay with the other person. Hold on. Sorry, that was my dog knocking some stuff over. And I was telling her, be good now. Be good now, you hear? Anyway, then you have the Knight of Wands and the World card. So these two cards right here for you represent how y'all are in a position for you where and so like I said, you feel better. You feel good about yourself. A lot of you actually feel complete, more complete, because once again, you don't have to deal with struggle of, you get to do what you want, you get to live the life that you want. And so, maybe some of you, to address the situation, maybe some of you may want a relationship, and that's fine. That's fair. That's fine. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, a lot of you understand, though, like I said, like a lot of people have been hitting me up saying a lot of these relationships are not on point, to say the least. A lot of them are not. Anyway, a lot of you are looking at it from a lot of you are looking at it from a perspective of that. You're looking at it from the perspective of a lot of even though you would like to be in a relationship, it's okay if you're not, because again, you'd rather be in a relationship by yourself, just kicking it, being single for a little while. There's times where, somebody broke my heart and I didn't hang out, with anybody like that for a little while. I wasn't really looking like that for some years. I ain't even gonna lie, right? The Libra broke my heart 2012, a lot, right? Late 2012. I want to say actually the fall or the winter of 2012. So I'll say something like probably something like maybe October or November, maybe even January 2013, like really early, where the lines were blurred, like really on those 3 months type of thing. Broke my heart, right? Shattered it into a million pieces, because of how the Libra was. And I didn't really go look for anybody until, and then the Aries, me and her, you know what I'm saying? And then I stopped talking to the Aries also prior to that, the same year, 2012. So I didn't really start hanging out with anybody until 2016. Yeah, like a 4-year time skip, like a 3 to 4 year time skip, because I was just like, yo, like I was just fed up. I was like, yo, I'm not sure that I really want to keep doing this for real, because I don't know. Like a lot of them, I don't know, they're getting off on it. They're getting off on being able to do goofy stuff like that. So I don't know. I just wasn't really into dating anybody. I just wanted to kick it. And so again, this might be the same place in which y'all are there as well, right? Once again, right, you're not going to not look for anybody, right? If you see someone that may catch your fancy, you may say something, or they may say something to you. You might give them a chance. You might be like, you know what, let them let them talk to you. But what I'm honestly seeing is that a lot of you are just kind of getting out with people really quickly. A lot of y'all are just seeing things fundamentally wrong about their character, and a lot of you are just like, oh nope, you know where this is gonna go, so why would you stick around? But that's pretty much it for now. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 200K. We got 26,900 and change. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.